Brandon Peters Show may contain explicit language and detailed plot points. For more information on the show, stay tuned to the end of the episode. And now, here's Brandon.
So it has been 1 week for this show, and it's time to close with a song. To do so, I'd like to welcome back Radio Free Skaro, Steven Schapansky.
Hello. Do you always do this particular song at the end of 1 week? Is that you just get the same guest to talk about the same video after 1 week?
No, just since you looked at me.
Ha ha.
Oh, so 1 week is the leadoff single from Barenaked Ladies' 1998 fourth studio album, the 4 times platinum Stunt. That album also features singles It's All Been Done, Call and Answer, Alcohol, and Told You So. 1 week itself hit number 1 for 1 week and sold over 5 million copies.
Imagine if it was like 3 weeks. If it's like that would be like no. Maybe the Barenaked Ladies says, you know what? Actually, Billboard, could you? I know it probably finishes top of the second week. Could you nudge it down one spot because it feels like if we finish 3 weeks for 1 week, it's just going to be confusing.
Could someone say something off-color in an interview that would get us
right?
Like
Can we get
1
some
week
bad
away?
press here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Take it away. So unintentionally, I have 2 weeks in a row on this segment done music from fast-speaking Canadian artists.
I was gonna say I'm Canadian. I'm thinking, is this for my benefit here? Is this what's going on?
I picked it, and then I didn't realize. I was like, oh wait, well, I'll leave it here because Steven's Canadian. He might have a different perspective on that. But last week was Snow Informer.
Oh.
So now we have Barenaked Ladies and their songs. So, the Barenaked Ladies, you probably have a slightly different perspective on them.
A wee bit. It's fascinating. It's really interesting, the Barenaked Ladies. It's not like Canada disowned them. But they are a well-loved institution for the most part in this country. But they hit it super big with their first album here, which had that song "If I Had $1 Million" on it. It was like the college anthem for many, many people. Not necessarily me. Right when people were getting into Barenaked Ladies and other stuff, that's when I discovered Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
And so that's where my music interests went. And so I didn't disagree with Barenaked Ladies, but I was not a fan of that type of music. I was like getting into drums hardcore, and like Led Zeppelin was my jam. It's fascinating to see that, how Canada's love affair sort of with them kind of waned just as they broke it big in the US. I don't know if those two things are related. I don't think so. I don't think we would say, oh, now you've sold out to the States, we're not going to like you anymore. Because they still routinely did stuff in Canada. It's fascinating, actually. Early in their career, there was great controversy by the name Barenaked Ladies, that they were like, oh yes, they had to they were saying you got to change your name, but they were banned from playing because we didn't know what this is the kind of panic that we had in the early 90s, I guess, in Canada, that there's a band name of Barenaked Ladies that's the most dangerous thing for children. So yes, so I'm mostly familiar with the early days of Barenaked Ladies, and then they go off and be stars in the States.
Gotcha. What's it like when the bands do jump off well, we had you first, or is that like a success? Oh, they made it across the now we want to go to your side.
I know it's fascinating because Justin Bieber and Celine Dion. It's not like we with those are Canadians, don't forget those are ours and stuff. We almost once they're a citizen of the universe, so to speak, we sort of let them go. Whereas another band that I am not a fan of, but many, many other people were the Tragically Hip. Have you ever heard of the Tragically Hip?
I have heard of the Tragically Hip, yeah.
You've heard of them.
Mhm.
In this, because mostly the Tragically Hip decided, I think they tried desperately maybe for a little bit to venture outside of Canada and sort of become big, but they never made it, and they were just Canadian icons. Their now late lead singer Gord Downey died of brain cancer 2 or 3 years ago, and so they did a farewell tour, and they aired their last concert live on a Saturday night, commercial free for 3 hours.
Ooh.
And I think it might be the most watched television event, non-sports, in Canadian history. It made me feel bad that I wasn't a fan, because this was such a Canadian moment. I don't think any other nation could sort of like look at one music act and just have that much love and devotion for them.
Yeah.
And so the Barenaked Ladies threw all that away for financial success in the United States. So your loss, I guess, Barenaked Ladies.
You could have had it all.
Could have had it. Yep.
Wow. They looked at the Tragically Hip and said, "Well, that's all been done before."
Yeah.
Is that what they? Yeah.
Maybe it is. Oddly enough, though, I think Barenaked Ladies have more or less returned to Canada. I think now that they've sort of settled into their little niche that they're in now, and I think I see them a lot on like hockey broadcasts and everything else, because they're Canadian. So
They doing jingles for the used car station, or
I don't think they've gone that far.
Okay.
But they do an excellent Christmas album. I don't know if you've heard the Barenaked Ladies Christmas
I know
album.
they had one, but I have not heard it.
It's really good.
Okay.
It's actually legitimately good Christmas album.
Okay.
Yep. Do seek it out. It's very good. It'll put you in the spirit of the season.
Gotcha. I remember I first heard of them because they did a song on the Friends soundtrack, which was it was Shoebox was one of them.
Okay.
And I've honestly myself, I've never owned a Barenaked Ladies album. But I've enjoyed plenty of their songs, and I think when 1 week came out, I didn't need to, because it was everywhere for that summer. I think it came out
for longer than a week. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was longer than a week.
Yeah.
If it was a week, it felt like years. That was
right.
That was it. And this song, like the lyric, I mean, it was that really fast thing going, and full of pop culture references, which there would be a song by a group called LFO called Summer Girls, which kind of was like that too, where it was like little quick rap verses, but all it was just, I don't know what sense this makes, but it's just referencing things.
And it sounds good. They're doing it well.
Yes, it's another in the canon of not friendly karaoke challenge songs.
No,
because
but let me tell you, that doesn't stop people. That don't stop people from trying it. And
No.
I've heard some bad karaoke versions of that in my time.
And I personally, so when I was in high school, I was an AV dork. I was the kid making movies, which is now the cool kid in high school. Not when I did it.
Right.
When I did, I had a program called a Video Toaster.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yep.
And but my teacher that did he was an English teacher. They did a media class. He would get on a kick, and he was like the Lorne Michaels we had like a little program that would air once a month in the mornings, and I guess we got to edit all of it. But I would get to see some of my own projects come to life. But one of the things he wanted was this song, but every reference with a clip, and I had to put that together.
Wow. Fun or fury? I don't know. How would you feel about that?
I've heard this song a lot. I can tell you that.
I suppose you have.
I had to find, and this is pre-internet. Like this is, well, not pre-internet, but internet not as reliable or high-res graphics or anything like that. So I had to seek out to find Harrison Ford. If the movie wouldn't VHS, they had a little thing that would distort, so it didn't look. I wouldn't think it looked good. So like Harrison Ford, I had to go searching for magazines to like video to put.
Can't just throw a high quality JPEG in there or something like that for a few frames.
Aquaman was not popular like he is now. That was it was. It was fun to put a Kurosawa clip into something. I will say that was awesome. But wow, that was a project that I don't look fondly on. But
Matt,
I can tell the story now.
Well, yeah, they didn't even do that much effort in the video themselves for their own song. So,
and this video directed by Mick G. I was like, for those who don't know, the Mick G, the director of Charlie's Angels, the Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu ones, The Terminator Salvation, where Christian Bale from yelling on the set at somebody and going, McJ, you tired,
Right.
McJ. TV's Chuck, a show I watched and enjoyed for a couple years, and loads of music videos, like everything from Korn, Sugar Ray, Smash Mouth, Sublime, Fastball, Everclear, Cypress Hill, Mace, and Puff Daddy. Like he did, and he graduated to film really quick compared to some of those people.
Yeah. That's fascinating. I mean, there's a filmic nature to it all. The way it's shot, the way it looks, the stunt driving.
Yeah.
I didn't notice the references in the first bit because I read about it. I have never seen Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, but I sure did watch the Dukes of Hazzard when I was growing up. And so once that old Dodge Charger came onto screen, thankfully without the Confederate
yes, that's what I was
roof,
gonna say. Thankfully, that was not on that. This video can live on and not feel icky. You can watch it and be like, that's what it should have looked like.
Yeah, it should have been. But man, that I got a free saw when I saw that car, that orange Dodge Charger. It was, That's,
and the car from Starsky and Hutch was the other one too.
Starsky and Hutch one too. I know, but it's the Dodge Charger.
Oh no,
before Doctor Who's TARDIS, it's the car from the Dukes of Hazzard as my preferred mode of transport. Like chronologically speaking.
Where are them naked boys gonna go to next? Things are getting tight around here. Yeah, I saw Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Like once when I was a kid. That's not one that I revisited. So I did not get that this whole beginning was an homage to Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, but I got some slight Celestial Toymaker vibes from it.
Me too.
I was like,
me too.
Well, I guess this is what it would look like, right? Like maybe we could just drop over the Barenaked Ladies guys, some Steven and Dodo.
It's basically a fan-made recon of Celestial Toymaker Part 3, I think is what.
So Big G wanted to do it. I mean, he was a big fan. He's like, I'm gonna we could bring this back, film it.
Which episodes of Doctor Who you found? Only the missing ones. Only the ones you can't see. Those are the ones that I love. So
those are my favorites,
do you want to do this remake of, I don't know, the War Machines? No. It exists.
What do you mean they found Enemy of the World?
Well, let's strike that. I was halfway through shooting a video of that.
Oh, I used to like that one.
Yep.
Yeah. No. But yeah, I got those vibes off of it. There's of course Evel Knievel. Gender flopped.
Yep.
Gender flipped. Lands in a tree. And then the dancing or doing it's weird. There's no symmetry to this video. It like starts with this Chitty Chitty Bang Bang Celestial Toymaker 3 number, which has the video has an awkward start because it's quiet and then he just picks up and the song goes. It's like, oh, I wasn't ready for that, but sure.
No one's ever ready for the start of that song though. That's the thing,
right? It
just jumps right in. You kind of have to have that for the video too, right?
Right. It's an energy, yeah. And then they run outside. They chase cars. They do have a sweet hood slide though. That thing was. I mean, you got to go look back on yourself and be like, I was awesome for that moment. I nailed that. Nailed that.
How many takes did it take for him to slide across that hood? Because I'm imagining that's the thing I've seen a bunch of times. I've never tried it myself. I would probably fail or scratch the hood probably with like the rivets on my jeans or something like that. Like it's an art form.
I once late night in college was going to a breakfast diner at odd hours at night or morning, actually, because it's when you call it a night, you go have breakfast after going to group gatherings.
Right.
And a friend of mine who had been, let's say, drinking a little bit of stuff. There was a cop car parked in front of the place.
Oh, dear.
He did a perfect hood slide across it. And the cop got up and he said, that was so good. I'm just going to say, go inside and behave.
Impressive.
He was impressed with the hood, like the perfect hood slide. And he was like, I can't.
Like if Tom Wopat came in right now and did the same hood slide as seen in the opening credits of the Dukes of Hazzard, he wouldn't have done it any better. Go forth, my son, and behave.
You never expect, because I was like, oh no. Like I was like, oh, this is not gonna. Oh, okay.
It ended well.
It ended well. Who knew cops could be like that? But
with a heart of gold.
With a heart of gold. So yeah, they apparently one of the Pussycat Dolls is in this. I'm not familiar with them enough. I know the main one, what she looks like, the Nikki one, but Yeah, so there's that. And this one, overall, after watching it, I don't feel like the video is really beholden to Barenaked Ladies or the song. Like, you could easily, like, I named some band like Sugar Ray or Smash Mouth. You could swap them in here and one of their songs, it'd be the same thing.
I mean, this is their first sort of big American hit. So, like,
Right.
where they sort of says, hey, you want to make it in America, you got to have a strange filmic video made by McGee or something. And you almost feel like, what are we doing in this video? 4 years ago, we were singing about craft dinner and real green dresses.
Right.
And now you want us to do this. Maybe they were slightly dazed by their own fandom at that time making this video.
Well, they became huge. I mean, they could still headline places now if they want to play. So this bought them a long time. Because then they come out with like Pinch Me, which felt like trying to do this song again a little bit. But this video, I was just like, okay, what about this is Barenaked Ladies? But I mean, they could have probably been in the Fly video with this song and it still made sense somehow. I don't.
Right.
Or Walking on the Sun, whatever those. But then I'm like, oh, it's just a McGee style, I guess. That's what's coming through is what McGee's videos look like. But yeah, 1 week. It was a long week, a good week.
Very good week. And a lot of video editing on the video toaster for you.
There we go. Oh, yes. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But that'll wrap us up for this 1 week. Steven, thank you so much for taking time out, coming here. I implore people to check out your immaculate Doctor Who Flux coverage going on right now. And as always on Radio Free Skaro. But please let people know where they can keep up with you going into the weekend and check out your happenings.
You can follow me at Legopolis on Twitter, and indeed at Radio Free Skaro as we review Doctor Who Flux, which is winding down.
It'll be the finale when this drops coming up. That's right. I just thought of that. Yeah. So we'll be like.
I'm very looking forward to it, and yet not at the same time. But also, all of my Sundays are spent watching and recording a Doctor Who podcast about it. So I am looking forward to the end. I'm not looking forward to it being over, but I'm looking forward to having the next Sunday off.
All right, excellent. And I'm on Twitter, Instagram at Brandon4KUHD, written work at whysobblue.com. The show returns all new next week. Got something interesting and special for you. Until then, have a lovely weekend, and remember, stay film positive.
Thank you for listening. The Brandon Peters Show is a Creative Zombie Studios production. Produced by Brad Shoemaker and Brandon Peters. Written and edited by Brandon Peters. Announcer vocals by Jessica Alsman. Theme song by Metavari. Web design and show art by Brad Shoemaker with Brandon Peters. All music and clips featured in the episode are property of their respective studios, and no infringement is intended. Additional information on this and other episodes at BrandonPetersShow.com. For any inquiries, press opportunities, or sponsorship, contact mail at BrandonPetersShow.com. The show is available on Apple Music, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts are found.